Evening. How we doing?
I'm great, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, good game week in the end. Yeah, let us know how the sound is.
Eventful.
Eventful. Yeah, well, that is what I said at the start of the week. I said it was going to be an eventful week, so it was, and here we are. It's been a bit, yeah, up and down. Literally up and down is how my game week's gone. Hello to everyone in the chat. Uh, who's in the chat? So Nor FM, hello, Mike Halpin, Daniel Valentine, Steve Sedman, Shellshock Trophies, Flappy's in there, Hobo's in there, Tony Irvine,
Sounds
Christian,
like the
yes,
same.
new intro and expected haircut for me. Yeah, exactly.
Fresh Barnet. I'm
Thanks, man.
like,
Yes, thanks, man. Um, yeah, I can't
good.
complain. Can't complain. We'll get into
You
it,
can't
but
complain. Why are you pretending you can't
mate, I
complain?
can't. I should be because I've tried to. I've had this last season as well. I tried to punt and have some fun with it. And then what happens is you just get a big fucking slap from the massive perma cat guy. And but the thing
Harlan's
is, in the
mate.
past, to be fair, when I've tried to do that and tried to punt, I've had like 6 points or 2 points or something like that. But to get like the euphoria yesterday, like after 25 minutes of Mitoma banging that goal in, and last night was great. Went out for drinks and stuff, and was absolutely buzzing.
You must
But
be buzzing though, mate. Like I was like, we got to call the title for the run because I'm not sure people really get the run. I think people don't really get the run. Like
yeah, it's been
a
good. It's been
million
really
rank
good
gain, like a
in
million
4
rank gain if
weeks.
you were 4 million is something, but like 1.4 million to 400k at one point it was 200k virtually. um Still got Kane to go tomorrow night, mate. Ride the wave, like this is fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good. It is good. It is good, really. I'm trying to just dial it down a little bit because Haaland kind of just didn't
Dial it
quash it.
down, mate. I saw you in the kebab house last night enjoying life. You was not dialing it
Oh, piss off.
down.
That's Corf, mate. It's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. I I was as much telling that guy about my 20-point captain haul as you were kicking Ramsdale last week. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. What was the
yeah.
XG on the kebab? Well, like expected grease. Is that what he's? Yeah, it's pretty greasy. It's pretty greasy. Didn't eat it till I got home as well. So yeah. Yeah.
It's,
So people notice that we have a nice new shiny intro, which is great.
we do. We do. We've had some work on that this week. And I think we're just chirpy because we haven't had Tottenham ruined our week yet.
This is true. That
It's
helps.
beautiful.
Definitely
It's
helps.
beautiful. Just talk about
And
football, no
yeah,
misery. Well, apart from the fact that Arsenal are
look at
now going to win the league.
look at Spartans just showing me up here from 1.6 million to 360k. That is
Well, it's because
monster.
it's clearly, this is what I'm telling you. People need to understand the influence of above average FPL, mate. We come on, we do this stuff. People like Spartans are here every week.
This
You're
is
doing
true.
the stuff, they're following you. The goat's the goat.
This is
I
true.
made the same. There's no coincidence. Me and you made the same transfer this week, and I'm probably going to get a green arrow when I've been doing miserable. I'm grey arrow, and I've got Mitrovic, Kane. The thing is, because of Mitrovic last week, I don't even know if I can say that I'm on for a green arrow because I've got Mitrovic, Kane, and Doherty tomorrow, and I'll have like a missed penalty from Kane, missed penalty from Mitro. Doc won't turn
Yeah.
up, and I'll get 0 points.
Yeah.
It'll find a way.
Mad.
But
Mad. If you are in the stream, this is obviously bonus stuff. So now what we've started to do now is to have this as like a little like stream introduction. So it's something that you guys get extra that people that when the video finally gets cut, it won't be there. So this is all for you guys as well. The podcast listeners won't get this
leave
either.
it
So
in. You've had fun with this one. We'll leave it in this
no, 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 no,
week.
no, 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 no. I have to
Leave
cut.
it in. Let's go. Let's go. Leave it in. Because
I was
then
gonna.
anybody listening or watching this will now know if they go to the stream in future, they have a bit of fun with us beforehand. So leave it this week. Let's go.
Okay, fair enough. We diving in then.
Let's get in it.
Cool. Well then, I guess I'll start the podcast because I
Yeah.
haven't done the intro.
You're
So
done. We're on.
we're on. Right, guys, welcome back. This is Above Average FPL. My name is Adam, and as always, I'm joined by Baker. How are you doing, mate?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah? Good game weeks
Yeah.
from both of us?
Hopefully only because I've got three still to play. So it's not quite there yet, but it should be good. Good.
It should. Should be good. Yeah, me absolutely the same. I have got them both here. So yeah, I'm on 79. So started really well with Kepper in goal, and then had Mitoma. um, brilliant. I had him as captain this week. Honestly, I did between 10 to 11 and 11 o'clock. I went backwards and forwards. I did put my captaincy back on Haaland, and then I sent a message to you and Pras, and then I didn't get a response, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to change it back to Matoma and see where it goes. And so yeah, him scoring in the first half was nice because it felt like getting the first return felt really important, because then I felt like I could relax a little bit, and then that extra point with the bonus, I was just chilling. I was like, yeah, cool, that's fine, because that Haaland now needs to double return for it to be bad for me and whatever else. And we know what happened. Trippier and Botman, superb. I don't think Newcastle ever concede again. I don't think Trippier will ever get less than 3 bonus again. Just and having that double really just gets me a bit more than those obviously just with Trippier have, which is great.
It's only a little bit more though, isn't it? Like in a way, I'm like, it's fantastic, but loads of people have got bloody Pope as well. Is just huge own. 150% owned that defense was this weekend. Monster.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were on sync like yesterday, I went into that game and I was it's pretty much the reason why I'm in for a good week is that Miggy didn't also score. Like if Miggy scores and they double clean at the moment, it's massive. But I think we'll have a talking point to go with on Miggy with there. But it's home a cat, mate. I'm well happy for you.
Everyone else is doing bits. I said, obviously Tony was a bit of a disappointment, but Brentford were poor today, which is it's a bit surprising, and I'd expect them to bounce back next week against Southampton, or in 2 weeks' time against Southampton. But that's fine, and I didn't expect much from Shaw, to be quite honest, and that's why I benched De Gea. So 0 points is 0 points, plus all the Cancelo owners are going to get Shaw off the bench anyway, probably. So
yeah. That's actually a big win. That's a big win. That I tweeted earlier is that Shaw's 70% owned, but only 40% played, whereas 30% of the game played Cancelo. So many of those Cancelo ones are going to go to Shaw. Deliberated for ages on Shaw and White, and they both got 0. Well done. What a waste of time.
So yeah, you're on 71.
71 with Kane, Mitro, and Doc to play, and if Doc doesn't play, I get Shaw's 0 points. So
you've done it. You've said Doc.
Yeah. Well, it's the nickname's fine. The nickname's fine. We can call him Doc.
Go beyond Doc.
But full name, we have to go for their deity. We can't put the C in there for that.
Fair enough.
It's more it's all good.
It's all good. And we've fluked an assist at the end there by the sounds of it. I saw it, but I didn't look at the replay. I was too pissed off.
I'm not sure if he touched it. Well, I think he did touch it, but I think he basically hit it into Fred, and then it wouldn't have been going anywhere near there. So take it, move it on.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go. And let's go. Before we do, Chintan, thank you very much. Another super chat from you, man. He says 79 with Kane and Doherty to go. I think I did it right there. Whiskey's on here too, mate. It's been a good few weeks and it doesn't feel normal. Where is the misery that is home? Why am I not enjoying this? Yeah, FPL misery. It comes I do together.
Think there's quite a few on that. I wonder if the template, I feel like the template changes really, really quickly. I think it's still going to be really strong. And I think the next 2 weeks, doubles are going to push it more template again and so forth. But I do think a lot of the safer players have been feeling a bit more of the pain, myself included in that one. Whereas I feel like at the moment, like you say, you've managed to do massive gains, but you had to make some really big decisions in 17 to get there. So you went without Cancelo, went without a premium defender, and look how brilliant that's worked out. Better than probably expected, but even then, you didn't have to go the premium. Like I was really wanted to go Stones over Cancelo, didn't do it, and actually that would have been a much better option to have done that, and didn't. But you made the decision to get Kane in, whereas a lot of people had to then force him in later and do what they've done with him. So you did set yourself up in a good space. It's enabled you to have a lot of fun. So good on it.
Excellent.
But things will change. The game changes really quickly. Like I've seen lots of people like season over and stuff like that. I'm like, it'll change. We've got double game weeks coming up next 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun.
Exactly. I mean, just a very, very quickly before we move on to the wheel. Um, this is how our weeks differed. If we're looking at FPL optimized, so for guys that are listening on the podcast, you won't be able to see what I've got here, but I've got a monster spike up to sort of 25 points above the average at my rank tier. I've put both rank tiers at 100k, so
Yeah,
yeah, 25 points above. That's come rocketing right back down to about 8, 7, something like that.
mate.
And
Any
yours
week where
just
you gain 8 points on the people around you, it's a big week.
yeah,
Big
it's
week.
good.
And the only thing that's really going to hurt you tomorrow is Mitrovic, isn't it? So if Kane outscores
Yes,
Mitrovic, you're fine.
yeah,
Like that suggests almost you might go down tomorrow. I don't think you can go down tomorrow. And then I'm bang level, which is better than where I should have been. I was basically predicted to start the week and just keep going down and then gradually get it all back on the Monday night, which was a really horrible feeling yesterday when I suddenly was like, God, I've got no players playing. I've just got to take pain and pain and pain and pain. So all good. That's where this site is still good. It's still good, for people. When you look at your fixtures, then you just got a bit of an idea of where you expect to be. I do think there's always an element of this. Sorry, setup where this can be quite triggering. Where it's not working too well for you, and you're like, hold on, I should be doing better than that.
yeah,
So you got to use it, I think, intermittently and use it in the right way.
yeah. No, I
I
think
think
that's
there's a
fair.
danger if you live against it that it can trigger you if it's not going well.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, can't agree more with that. Cool. I just realised that we were missing one game from the wheel, so I've just updated that. So let's move on to the
Good,
wheel. So
good.
the wheel is not in sync. Let's just get that in the middle there. So we got Borefest, hat trick again. Mitoma, Moyes Masterclass, Miggy Mudded, Unlucky Leeds, Eddie, and No Ings, no problem. So should we just spin it and let's get going?
Let's get going,
Where do
mate.
we want to start? Let's see where we're going to start. We're going to
You
start with
want to?
Miggy Mudded.
Oh, that is interesting.
Off we go. There's a lot of discussion here, not just about Newcastle. I mean, what's really annoying actually is that like we've got is it 3-0-0s? Oh, Jesus Christ!
Mate. So I'll just talk Newcastle. Newcastle. So 4 games now in the restart, or in the last 4 games, there's been 1 goal in the entire of Newcastle games.
Yeah,
So in the last 360 minutes of Newcastle football, 1 game between both sides.
it sounds boring, but
They're never getting top 4 if that they continue to draw games. Because
no, because
one of the other teams will start going on a run. Like
we'll start
somebody will
picking
start.
up.
Look at United, went on a run and win like 5 games, and suddenly they've caught, and they're in it. They were a long way behind Newcastle when they can do it. So I know they lost today, but you can lose the odd game. You got to be able to take teams apart, and there's something not quite right. There's something not quite right on Newcastle. I've gone from like their guaranteed top 4 to the only reason I think they're probably definitely getting top 4 is because of how bad the other teams are.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
the only game I guess I wouldn't have expected them to score in was obviously the Arsenal game, which was away as well. This one, so somebody sent something saying that you know Newcastle have conceded in more than half of their away games. So there was obviously a desire to obviously not do much there. But yeah, on the scoring side, I mean, I think it's Wilson as well. Like Wilson just hasn't looked
I think he's gone.
right.
I think Isaac comes in next game. I would be,
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if he isn't.
I think it's time. I think it's time on that. But I do think as well. I think like Wilson's having a negative impact on Mickey. Um, is I noticed when Wilson went off that Miggy then starts coming off the wing a lot more than what he was. He's been so wide, just not right. Whereas as soon as Wilson went off, he suddenly became a lot freer. Isaac would interchange with him. Just felt like a much more fluid front line. And look at that last 20 minutes. They picked up.
Yeah, very
They
true.
picked up. So I think they've got to make that move because otherwise you can't just keep grinding. Not when you not look see the way that United and Arsenal try to go a bit toe to toe. They've got to do a bit more for that. So I suppose the couple of
real
things
thing we
probably
want
talk
to talk about is probably Trippier, isn't it?
Yeah. I saw a
Or do you,
few things yesterday about why is he so good in the bonus and why is it and what is it and all that stuff.
so in
So I
terms of,
looked at it.
go on then.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complete. This is the most perfect storm I've ever seen of why someone would be perfect bonus material. Is firstly is baseline. So what you're looking at here is from Fantasy Football Scout, and the real important column with this, and it's a really good thing to look at, is you can click BPS plus on the player stats if you're in their members area, and they do a minutes per baseline BPS, and you can see on this that since the restart, Trippier averages 4.5 minutes per baseline BPS. Now it's nearly like 70-80% better than anybody else in that back line. So when they get a clean, he's just nailed on for free. They can't, even if he gets, a booking or whatever he gets, doesn't like he got this time, it doesn't matter because he's so up there. So up there. He's done 9 big chance creations in those 5 games he's played. He's made 25 key passes. I also notice quite often he does short corners and crosses, which means he gets open play cross baseline. That's a sneaky little way he gets a bit extra. And also, he gets some sneaky dribbles. Like he's not quick, but because often they come inside for Miggy, he can just get round people quite easily and he gets a sneaky dribble. Like everything is perfect. Like his pass completion's terrible. He gave away the ball 31 times on Saturday night. It's one of those things where someone would quote it and say, God, his player's terrible. He lost possession 31 times. But he's just able to just quarterback it all day long.
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly. He's just pinging, looking to make things happen. And you'd think that's the sort of thing that, we talk about Wilson maybe not being on it. And that, if and that's the thing about these key passes and these big chances created, because as soon as it touches his head, that's it. Yep. Tick. That's another 3 tick. That's another 3 tick. And it just keeps going. And then it means just even if he is booked, like just the volume he creates. And we saw it with Trent in years gone by as well. The similar kind of thing. He just keeps pumping it in.
We did. I compared him to Trent last season because I didn't feel it was really right to compare him this season. And so far this season, he averages 4.5, but the second place is Botman at 6.9 minutes. Like that's nothing. You ain't getting bonus at 6-7s, like late 6-7s. You're not getting bonus, like because a midfielder will score, striker will score, something will happen, or you'll get 0-0s, and the keeper and the other team will get it, like happened this time. Guaita and Mitchell nick in because their baseline's not good enough. And it's been that way all season. You can see if you're watching the bottom half, but it's not much different. But see, if you compare it to last season with Liverpool, Trent was at 5.5 minutes per baseline, and that's world class. But he's at 5.5. Matip's at 5.7. Robbo's at 5.7. Alisson's at 5.9. And there's variance between games. So at any point, Robbo has a big game, Matip has a big game, Alisson has a big game. And so they're always nicking little bits. So although Trent was always in the bonus conversation, he wasn't always getting 3. You get 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Because he's such a disparity, he doesn't bother with the 2s and 1s. He just goes 3, 3, 3, 3. I think something like October was the last time he got 2, less than 2 bonus or something ridiculous. He's just an absolute monster.
I'm flying in to see if I can see that now. I can't see.
I think it's someone. I'm sure stats on like 6th of October was the last time he got less than 2 bonus. I love how we can use the winter break as a way to make stats sound better than they are.
They're great. Ed's doing that for Newcastle as well. It's
like you do that like
a goal since like the 6th of November.
Yeah. Forget that they had 7 weeks off.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. So yeah, he's there. Let's move on to Miggy. That's the more fun topic of we haven't got Miggy, have we?
Neither of us.
No.
Oh, you mean neither of us in our teams? No, but I've got the stats as we were looking at it for comparative game week 1 to 16 versus game week 17 onwards. And for those listening, we can see that his XG's dropped from 0.3 to 0.2. These are per 90. And
which doesn't sound a huge amount, but
it's 30%. It's 33%.
But it is, yeah.
It's a big number.
And he was overperforming. He was overperforming as well.
Well, that's because he's banging them in from 30 yards. But yeah, like his minutes per XG dropped from 270. So 270 is what, like 1 XG every 3 games. So now 1 XG over every 5 games at 469 minutes, which is not enough. And yeah, his XA's improved, but
because he's too wide. It's exactly what we said, and it's that Wilson's pushing him wide. Go remember, I think Tom Freeman did a thing on the Scout earlier this week. He did like a table, and I think he broke that 1 to 16 even further, and like 9 to 16, it was up much higher. Wilson was injured quite a bit that 9 to 16. It's like Wilson is like kryptonite for Miggy. So I reckon it wouldn't surprise me if everybody sells him. Isaac comes in and Miggy does a madness. But would I sell him? Yeah, I'd sell him. Because why would you take the chance right now? Just get on with it. And the fire, like he could lose 0.2 easy this week.
Yeah, there's a long time between the game week.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah, he's gone. So, Miggy, would you sell him?
If I had him, yes. Because I think there's just better options. There's better options. Brighton, better options at Arsenal, obviously. City.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going to look at those shortly.
So precious, United the spaces.
Well. You've got doubles for Leeds coming up. Yeah, as doubles and blanks start coming in. Yeah.
Too precious. Midfield spots. We all want 10 of them. Too precious. Get him gone. Due to drop tonight, apparently. For anyone that's watching this tonight, might have got ahead of the game. Spin the wheel. We're not even talking about Palace, are we?
Go. Oh no, we don't need to talk about Palace. There's nothing really there. So the results are in. It's a hat trick again for Erling.
Who's that for, mate?
Erling Haaland. Yeah. I mean, I haven't got it on screen, but there was a point in the game where he was literally 6 yards in front of all the defenders apart from the keeper and the defender that was defending on the line when a shot came in. Like, it's like they're almost not just deliberately not picking him up. And I had a conversation with Focal last week when we were talking about triple captains, and he asked me the question: Does he need a big chance? Well, yes. Haaland needs big chances to score, and City just create big chances for him. I'm not sure if that first goal was deemed a big chance at like 7 yards out. I don't know. But obviously his penalty...
It's a good header, that.
It's a great header. But the penalty is obviously a big chance. And, his tap-in for his third, he's just standing on his own, right?
Yeah.
If teams continue to let him stand on his own between the between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, he's going to score 50 goals. He's going to score 50 league goals.
It's
mental.
It's like what we always imagined if Bamford could finish. This is what it'd be like. It's like that season of him. But this guy is just phenomenal. Opta do a really good thing where they keep show every time he scores. They show like a little map of where his goals are, and it's just. I wonder how. I think it's just going to be a solid block, like a solid circle by the end of the season, where the dot just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
It just grows.
Just phenomenal. So he's now beat Salah, like Salah and Son competing for like best ever seasons last season. He's done them.
In
22nd of January.
In half a season. He's done them in half a season. Oh, it's just going to be ridiculous.
Apparently, he makes them worse.
Like, yeah. I watched that video. I watched that video. Hilarious. Well, not hilarious. It's an interesting thing to think about.
I genuinely didn't watch the video because I was like, what is the point in this conversation? Sorry, John, if you watch this, mate, but yeah. I had no interest. I've just looked at his heat map in 61 minutes. It's just got this little red dot in the in the area, and he just scores goals, mate. He's just a phenomenon. I actually felt a little bit bad for the guys that triple captained him last week because, God, they got unlucky with 8
They
points out
got
of Erling
unlucky.
Haaland.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I half knew what I was walking into this week. I was hoping that the last 2 weeks had some sort of impact on him. I was basically trying to put my best brave Andy Martin face on and whatever else. But
Are they really fully functioning though? Like, honestly, like, take away the penalty, they're not creating enough. They're not creating enough. We got the.
it's difficult. You say they're not creating enough. It's not difficult. It's a bit difficult to say that when the size of their chances. I mean, even if you look after Haaland went off, I mean, that's a 0.2 chance. That is next chance, and then the chance after that is a monster. I mean,
I kind of want City at home to Wolves without a penalty creating 2.5 free XG. I just kind of want them to do that.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
because like we're all investing 30 million quid basically into these if you want free attacking assets or free assets, you're basically putting 30 million quid into your team on it. I kind of want the ability that we're going to get stuff. And I watched it and I was like, I felt like Grealish was the best player. And I don't want Grealish. I don't want Jack. I'm not Jack Curious anymore. Those days are well gone. Like, I like Mahrez, but it was like, okay. Mahrez
Yeah,
is great,
okay.
but Mahrez is great. I still think Mahrez is easily the best, but they're not fully ticking yet.
No, okay, fair enough.
Let's tackle it this way. What we've seen from Erling Haaland, does it make you want to wait on triple captaincy for another Haaland double? Or are you just all in on Rash?
That's a really tough one because I
Because look
still
at this.
feel
Like, they got unlucky, those triple cappers. Like, look at this. 17, what do you get? 17 points in 61 minutes today.
yes, but the difference being is the fixtures again. Is the fixtures that he's going to have in 23. Yeah, he's got fair enough. He's got Villa. Arsenal could be something different. I think.
like I keep saying that they will. He will play both games in 23.
Of course he will.
Like, do not worry about the minutes in 23. Like, nobody has to worry about them. I think it is something we just got to think about. Man United are playing this midweek. Then they've got FA Cup. Then they're playing again in midweek because it's 2 legs this semi-final. Didn't realise it was 2 legs still. Why is the Carabao still 2 legs semi-final?
I have no idea.
So they've got 3 more games and then they're playing a double. Martial, like, Vegas is crap. Like,
who have they got in this semi-final?
Forest?
Forest.
I want to say Forest.
Rashford will play 180, won't he?
Like, they're so reliant on him to play those games. Like, maybe the play is still Haaland. We're all going on Rash. But I think in our head right now, we're all going on Rash because
we know that a bunch of people burned their triple captains last time, and that means next time the double comes around for Haaland, we're not going to be as severely punished. That's exactly what we're thinking.
Yeah. And I've just got, I feel like we've got 10, 12 days to process it.
Yeah.
But Palace have been bad, but they have been quite dull in a bad way. Like, they worked quite hard. They are bad, but they're not getting. Oh yeah, we put 4 past them. Yeah, they're bad. Yeah, they're bad. It's don't get me wrong.
Well,
Rash,
to be fair, I was going to say to be fair, you know, they had obviously they took a point off United, and they've taken a point off Newcastle. So it's been a couple of good results for Palace.
Hmm.
That might put some brakes on some.
We're going to get to Leeds, but Leeds Man United is a big game.
It's going to be chaos. That's going to be carnage.
Anything can happen.
It's going to be a bit mad. Nothing to speak
people
about.
Talk about people at Marsh though as well does play better in the bigger games. Marsh's Leeds. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, they just like the toe-to-toe stuff, don't they?
I'm
They
just
always have
saying
done.
is I think all of us are now currently like 100% into Rash. And I'm not 100% there yet. I'm not 100% there yet. I want to just try and keep my mind clear for a week because I still like Erling. I still like Erling for 23.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Let's move
Cool.
on. John
Yeah.
Stones is still the pick if you're going to go for a defender.
Don't know where the wheel went there for a second, but fair enough. Yeah, if you're going to go for a defender, that seems fair enough.
I've seen a few people saying like content creators switch to Stones. We have been Stones all the way as the premium guy for their defence, and he is easily the best. Well, what a perfect segue. Rashford, did we talk about it? I'm assuming this. I can't think of any other Eddies other than my son. So yes, this is the.
Yeah, it's Nketiah. Yeah,
um,
this was a really good game of football.
do I need to clarify that I didn't call my son Eddie after Eddie and Nketiah?
Yes, you need to make that clarification right now.
I'll make that clear. Right, very clear, very clear.
Cool. Yeah, this was a good game of football. Arsenal again, very good, very good. And there was a part of the game, and we discussed this before we started. It was good. It was back and forth in that sort of 20 minutes to 60-minute section where United were in the game, and it was not so much that a lot was being created, but the game was being played in all areas of the pitch essentially.
That was a duel. Like if you just
exactly just a battle.
Yeah. Look at those. Look at the at 1-1. Yeah, there's probably less than 0.2 xg between 25 minutes and 65 minutes.
Yeah.
Incredible. But it was incredible. It was really fun to watch. I thought everyone pressing from United was just on. I did feel like they played with 10 men with Weghorst. Just feel like they're playing with 10 men with him. I know they want a striker, but if Tony's not fit,
I mean, what's your feeling on Anthony as a player? Do you think because if Weghorst isn't moving enough, do you think that makes Anthony a worse player? I feel like he's a bit of a. He feels like, and I don't know whether it's the left foot, but he feels like Ziyech. He feels like a Ziyech style player.
Yeah.
In a team that's controlling the ball, he will look fantastic and he can strike a ball wonderfully. But in a team that needs to grind a bit, he just looks lightweight to me and just doesn't look like he's going to get involved as much.
He's younger.
Bruno's
Bruno's going
to be the one that drives everything always.
Drive everyone and prepared to get there. That early challenge where he tried to get the pen off Ramsdale, which I love it when he's such a shit house of trying to get in and get pen. But he's the one that's going to be pushing to get that man in behind. Like I'd free him up. Like I'd just play Eriksen, Casemiro, and Fred. And Eriksen's been in the front three at Brentford, and it was fantastic last season. I'd just free Eriksen up and just have the four of them for me if Marshall's not there, or do whatever you can in the next few weeks to get Sancho fit.
Yeah,
they got some big games, and just do it. But Weghorst is not the one for them. I'm writing him off. He's been there 3-4 days, but wow! Once they turned up, Arsenal, they turned up.
That last 30 minutes was brutal. You'd be surprised if you actually saw Ramsdale touch the ball. I think in that last half an hour. Well, obviously there is a small chance there, but yeah, everything was. It felt like Arsenal were 2-1 down. It was just a constant barrage of just.
They know 1 point is not enough.
Bang, bang, bang.
They know if City, you can't open that door to City. They know, and they're not even entertaining it. They really stepped on the gas.
Before the game being played before as well. They knew exactly what they needed to do.
And the two midfield leaders in bar Bruno is Eriksen and Casemiro. Every single game, Eriksen's dead on 60. God, that sounds like a horrible pun. Words. But he's out on his feet. Is Christian on it, and they have to do something about it. Like they need to make subs on it. But Casemiro is such a winner. He just leads and leads and leads and leads and leads. As soon as you've got no Eriksen or Casemiro come 60 minutes, that was tough. and they're so good. So good. We need as many of them as possible.
Do we make a mistake going to Odegaard, or do we still think that's the right move?
Oh, absolutely not. I think Odegaard's one is their best player in terms of overall player. Like he is, I don't know. No, Saka probably is the best player type thing. But Saka's the most expensive player as well. But we said last week, Saka and Odegaard for me are the best two in midfield, but they're all great. They all could have hauled. We looked at should we do that attacking sequence bit? Because we've got these two teams and we've got the ones before.
We've spoken about City already, so it is probably good to do that. I'm not sure which one's going to be showing first.
Yeah, so this has got the attacking sequence involvement. So they're up to do this, which basically players that are involved in open play shots. Either you were in the build-up or you did the actual shot created or shot. I mean,
this on the screen as well. This on the screen as well. Just by the way, is the Arsenal and Man United players.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is, and it's all Arsenal. It's all Arsenal, but like 12 from Saka, 12 from Odegaard, 12 from Martinelli, 11 from Zinchenko, 8 from Xhaka, 6, and they're all shots from Nketiah. 6 shots is a big amount of shots. Like these are all great. Now you're not going to go with Xhaka because you've got 3 other midfielders ahead of them, but boy, what a cross that was. But these are gold at the price. Like any players that are average, like those midfield 36 involvements in shots between them. That's phenomenal. And then you compare that. Let's do the City comparison. Move it to City.
Gladly.
Top place, Grealish, 7. Second, also Mahrez, 7, but 4 of his are build-up. They're not actually anything that results in anything from a FPL perspective. 1 shot, 2 chances created. That's your lot. Home to Wolves. It's not enough. Not value-wise compared to those Arsenal guys. They are going to return every week. 2 of the 3 Arsenal midfielders and probably 3 of the 4, if you add Nketiah in, are going to return every week. Nobody can afford to have less than 2 of these in 23. And any time, really.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a really good way to get gains. No, Flappy, I saw him in the chat earlier, but he's had Saka all season, or not all season, since the restart. Man, you think of the rise you've had. Imagine you had Saka instead of Zaha.
Yeah, it would be mad.
Mad. Like Martinelli, I think people are getting twitchy.
Yeah, I think
dropped in price.
Yeah, and again, I think people will be reacting to the Trossard thing as well, which came to fruition today. I mean, he came off for Trossard with 10 to go, something like that, 5 to go, 10 to go.
Yep,
it's nothing more than just for me, it just feels like there's intention now to be able to rest him. What was strange though is they were obviously going for the game. In a situation where they were looking to win the game, he took him off.
Yeah.
For a guy that they signed yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
That would concern me a bit.
I think any man that can make that move, like it's basically a hit, isn't it? You've got to do a hit to sideways him off. So anyone that's got him, because 2/3 of the game have got him.
But you need to do it before 20. You need to do it before 23 because he gets whoever it is gets 2 fixtures.
Yeah, but he gets 2 fixtures.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's a 2-point hit to move off because you're moving off a man that will play both games. Like, I'm not saying I'm not moving off him, but because I think Saka's just maybe a long-term hold. And I think that's some of it. You got to look at it and say, do I feel comfortable? We've got 15, 16, 17, 18. How many games got left? 18 game weeks?
Yeah.
Like
17, yeah.
I've owned Martinelli since game week 1. And I've loved it. And if I moved on to Saka and said I'm going to own him to 38, I'd love that too. But he is going to hurt some people at some point. He is going to hurt some people.
Cool.
They're good. They're really good.
Let's move.
Let's move.
Agreed.
Go
on before us. Well, while
we will cover. I was going to say, we'll do some pods beforehand about Bruno. So we haven't covered that yet. People need to go to Bruno, but I don't think people should be going to Bruno this week with 3 Man United games before the next one, because he does play just about every game. Work it out later.
Yeah. Unlucky Leeds. So there is an element of unlucky. There is an element of this being an absolutely woeful game of football.
I watched quite a lot of this.
Realise that it was this low?
It felt better than this, mate. I watched this and I thought Leeds were really good, and I thought David Raya was superb. But
so for anyone listening, Brentford had 0.29 xg and Leeds had 0.5.
I would be telling you last match of the day and move on, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would be without even hesitating. I mean, I think Nonto, I think, is actually a good pick.
Yeah.
He's again lively. And he was going back to that attacking sequences. I'm sure he was top with like 6 or 5 that Opta had for that game. I haven't got the graphic for it, but I'm sort of desperately trying to find it now. But I don't. Yeah, Nonto had 7, 2 shots and 1 chance created. Mark Rocker had 3 chances created. So it's just not many.
It's just not enough. And Sinistero was back on the bench today, mate, and came on.
Yeah.
So it's just another man. Bamford comes on for Rodrigo. Rodrigo got booked. He loves getting booked. Like, you could easily in a double with Rodrigo end up with 2 points where he gets booked. One off the bench and 1 start.
Well, I think that's it then. So I mean, I think that's something. I think I wouldn't be looking to hit Leeds players in. If you needed to
only if you're making the move to 3-5-2. So one thing I think would be a good thing for us to cover.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Because if you take Nonto, if you take whoever it is down to Nonto, yes.
Yeah.
I'll play that game.
If you're absolutely sure, for example, you want Saka or Mahrez in your team, rather than say you've got Tony, I've got Mitrovic, and you go, actually, I definitely know I want Mahrez or Saka in for that double, then I think it's cool. I don't think it's a big deal going to Nonto. I don't think I'll go to Rodrigo. There's too many options out there at the moment.
Yeah.
The good thing about Nonto is I just don't think anyone's got his skill set. He's just a very unique player to watch. You can see he's so explosive and such a talent. Yeah. I probably won't go there.
Last non-match of the day. Let's move on.
What are you thinking about Tony? Because a lot of people got Tony.
I've got no issues with Tony. The game was just dull as hell. So, like, home to Southampton next week, not fussed at the moment. It's fine.
Yeah, fair dues.
Absolutely no issues there. Bourfest.
I loved calling this Bourfest.
Incredibly, you've said Leeds were unlucky on a game with 0.8 xg, and this is a Bourfest with 2.7 xg in it.
Narrative.
I did not see this game at all. I listened to a bit on TalkSport, but I didn't actually watch.
You had a busy day, mate. You would get yourself prepped. You were probably doing sort of fight sequences and get yourself in training, ready for Matoma at 3:00. I did watch this game. What a weird thing to watch this game. Watching this game, thinking, can Kepa outscore Alisson? Which, of course, he can't outscore Alisson, but can he just get a clean sheet? What a weird thing to watch. Imagine even having hope that your keeper would get a clean away at Liverpool. And it felt comfortable, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It felt comfortable. Like, didn't feel worried owning Kepa at Anfield.
I tell you what, I listened to Klopp's interview afterwards, and he said something about we need to continue to improve, and these are the kind of games where we need to. And it really sounded like he was talking like a mid-table team, which is the first time I've ever heard him speak like that.
He's talked before, heavy metal football, moaning about anyone parking the bus and doing all this stuff and on it and on it. And it was like, in a way, exactly the same takeaway. When I heard him say that, I was like, Christ, like worried about offensive stuff. But have a look when you get a chance at Andy Robertson's heat map. because I couldn't believe that this was a 0-0 and Andy Robertson was not in the bonus. I was like, he's got to be in the bonus, got to be top bonus, has to be. And it's dull as dishwater. It's absolute dullness. I mean, he put 5 crosses in, one of which connected, but just dull.
He spends more of his time in his own half, which is very anti what we've seen before.
Yeah, it was just meh. I mean, the lineup wasn't great. Cody Gakpo's not a centre forward. I just wish when Darwin had come on, and you can, I mean, they awoke when Darwin came on, but unfortunately, Chelsea awoke even more, because we'll have to get on to Mudryk in a minute. But
yeah,
they're just a miles better team when Darwin Núñez plays in that team. He is the absolute key for them. Salah hasn't. Salah needs foils. Like Salah needs other people doing the good stuff so that he can be clever and free and sneak in and do all the good things that Salah does. If nobody else is making the moves, he don't get free enough. They're a hard avoid Liverpool right now for me. Mudryk might be an option. Not now, because we've got doubles in 22-23, and we've got really good midfielders that we want from those teams. But you get out the other side of it, he was electric. Yeah, so good.
I saw a couple of little things from Match of the Day and stuff. Yeah, it looks
bad decisions. Like just put your foot through it.
Yeah,
like needing touches when you don't need touches and just go at it. I think I saw something like Danny Murphy saying he's 2-footed. He looked completely the opposite of 2-footed to me. He looked like just right. Wanted to just get everything onto his right, but he plays on the left, but wants everything on that right hand side. And so when a ball comes across him, he doesn't just stick the left leg out and touch onto it. He's like almost wants to try and take it down and do it. And it's like just you know that Darwin shin the other week and stuff. Yeah. You want him to do that with all of the ones. Just stick your leg out.
But I mean, he's 7 mil in the game, so it feels like you can. I mean, he's in that awkward price point between. It's cheap though. It's cheap for Chelsea.
It's cheap in any normal season.
Yes.
But Rashford's sub 7 million. Martinelli's sub 7 million. Odegaard's sub 7 million. Yeah. Mahrez is 7.5. Matoma's 5. March is 5. Like all of these things are there. Is he really, are you ever going to get there? Again, I think we need to have a discussion before next game week, and we've got a bit of time to do it, of should all of us be on 3-5-2? And if so, when do we do it? Because I love so many midfielders.
Liverpool hard avoid. Chelsea, I'd still avoid at the moment as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the offside.
Oh. Kai's sneaking some points in, but would I want an 8 million Kai over any 7 million midfielder? Nah. Absolutely not. So
fair enough. We've still got 4 games to go, so let's get through those. Have I frozen?
Frozen.
Can you still hear me?
Yourself? I can still hear you, mate.
Amazing. Let me just fix the camera. 1 second. No idea.
Try the wheel while you're doing it, mate, and I'll
try the wheel.
I'll talk us there.
There's the wheel.
Spin her up.
Go for it. Spin it away, and I'll sort that out. Oh, really?
Oh.
I'm frozen and I can't even talk about this. This is...
Any chance you can spin it again and we'll come back to Matoma?
Yes, I can do that. Let's see if we can get something else other than Matoma. No, we
can't. Matoma again!
No, let's get something else. Fuck off. This is ridiculous.
3 times.
This is the worst thing ever.
Please do it again.
No. Moyes Master. I'll let you talk about West Ham, mate. And
let me talk about West Ham. You can try and work your camera out, mate.
Exactly.
So...
Go.
We said last week they must bin Cresswell is the first point. They must bin Souček. They must bring in Ben Rama, and they can only play for 2 formations. It's either 4-2-3-1 or 3-4-3. They binned Soucek. They binned Cresswell. And live score put them down as 4-2-3-1, but it turned out they were 3-4-3. You're back in the camera, mate.
I know. Good.
I listened to David Moyes on old Diary of a CEO last week, but I reckon he listened to us. So we're claiming it for the podcast?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Absolute win for the podcast. And Jared Bowen, congrats on the twins and congrats on the brace. Yeah, phenomenal. Back in the game.
Do we need to caveat Everton? That it's Everton?
I'll let you go there.
Yeah, I think we should just caveat it that Everton are horrific. I mean, we called them Championship Everton last week. I mean, I don't know. It feels like Calvert-Lewin's come in and broken it even more as well. I just don't know what they're trying to do. What's weird about it as well? Defensively confuses me as well, because you've taken like a heart on your sleeve Connor Cody from Wolves, who we knew to be like, solid enough centre back. He's an England centre back, and then you take one of the toughest defensive teams, albeit they were bad, but like Burnley, Tarkowski.
Yep. Then you sort out the midfield. You sort out the midfield, and you get Idrissa Gueye and Onana, who have both been brilliant.
And yet you're just terrible. I don't understand it, and for me it just feels like it has to be Lampard. There's no other explanation.
You see at the end of the game when they interviewed him, he said, so we didn't have we're really lacking a physical presence up front. I'm like, Calvert-Lewin scored like 10 headers like season before last. He's a big lad. We're lacking a physical presence.
It must be confidence for Calvert-Lewin. He must think that he's going to get broken every time he runs out onto that pitch. And if that's the problem, they need to fix it, and they need to fix it quickly. I mean, like signing Chris Wood would have been a good idea.
Perfect.
If you want a physical presence, don't let Forest sign Chris Wood. Just go and get him.
Forest is showing you how many forwards and how many attacking assets you have to buy just to get goals in this league. You can't go in with Mopé, Calvert-Lewin, and then like half a Damari Gray or Gordon, like Gordon not playing or it's been injured and ill and all sorts. I'm not sure on that. That feels again like it's a naughty step weirdness when there's nothing really wrong there. Iwobi's not a forward-free player, and we've seen he's been better as in a much more deeper role. Like, and Seamus Coleman and Mikalenko are not wing backs. I've not seen a good cross from them for a long time.
Well, they were only I mean, like Coleman's never played as a wing back. He's always played as a forward-thinking fullback almost.
Yeah,
when he was playing alongside Baines and stuff, they were always 4-4-2.
In what 2007?
Well, yeah, that's also the problem, is that he's about 36 years old.
Just so in the bin. Keep targeting him. Again, nothing wrong with getting Arsenal guys in this week early.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with getting them in.
Yeah, agreed.
If you're well set on Man United, I would concentrate on getting Arsenal rather than worry about getting a Leeds in on the way.
Well, I've got 3, but I'm not sure whether I'm well set. But yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Right, back to the wheel. We know we've done our bit for West Ham this
week. I want Matoma to come out last now. It's going to be amazing.
I'm sure you do. But let's see what happens. We might get it. There you go. Borefest.
Borefest again. For those in the audio, they're like, we've already done that.
No, this is Bour, B-O-U-R, Borefest.
Because it's a festival.
Bournemouth versus Forest. Yes,
it should have been Borest. That's what we should have done with Forest. We should have done Borest.
It just takes me back to like the. It just takes me back to, for anyone that's watched The Simpsons, when Mr. Burns asks Smithers whether he's being booed, and he goes, "He's Boo Earns."
Borest.
That's what you're trying to do there. Terrible.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I love that one. This doesn't look it, but Bournemouth I thought were quite good. I thought Bournemouth were quite good in this game. I watched them, and I expected Forest to do them, but they had a bit of life in them still.
I mean, they almost got there, but you
But
know,
they just gave a chance up 2 yards from goal for
that's problem.
Sam
Yeah,
Surridge to lock in.
that's a problem.
Yeah. Because they dominate. You can see it before. If you take away that one big chance that they gave to Surridge that he couldn't miss, they dominated the majority of the game. I spoke to Ivan this morning, our friend of the pod, and he mentioned about I want to call it Utara. I'm not sure if that's exact the pronunciation of him, but he was lively. He was really, really good on that right side. And Jaden Anthony was obviously, the goals was good, but Utara looked fun and has had more goal involvements or like in the top few in Europe for goal involvements for players under age of 21. Looks a talent.
It's almost an identical goal for Anthony again that he scored against Forest away. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he came on in the last 10 minutes and scored against them late. But I don't know. It's not really a point that's going to help either side.
Nah. But there's life in these teams. I don't think they're just going to go out of it. I don't think these teams are going out. Like, I like these teams more than I like Everton.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like they've got more goals in them. No, that's true.
I mean, Kiefer Moore should have scored. I mean, you see that huge chance there. That is just such a
huge chance.
Huge chance. I couldn't believe he missed that.
Meat and drink, as they called it on
Match of the Day.
Meat and drink. I was laughing.
Terrible.
Old school cliche. It's tight though, isn't it? It's only 3 points now between 14th and 20th. I didn't realise that. 3 points. God, it's tight.
It's gonna be fun down there.
I like it. People are trying to get out. It's going to be a bit. That's the other thing. Before the next game week, we've got the transfer window closed, haven't we? So we've got so much fun to have in this next 10, 12 days. 2
domestic competitions, transfer windows, double game weeks. Yeah, don't make any moves now if you can avoid it.
Do not.
I did see someone mention. I mentioned that I saw someone in the chat earlier had Almiron to Saka exact money going up tonight. Saka.
So, let me.
I'm not sure what I'd do in that situation.
Let me get it up. Players transferred in. Game week transferred in. Bruno has already had 125k in.
Christ, and he's got to play 270 minutes before the double, which he will.
Yeah.
He'll probably play against Reading as well.
122k in for Shaw, 113k over Rashford, 116k in for a certain asset that we haven't talked about yet. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Let's go.
74,000 I bought Tony in for the game to Southampton. People are playing wild cards, mate. 2 weeks. We're not talking about it.
You did it. We're not doing it. We spun it 3 times in a row, but no ings, no problem for Aston Villa.
What do you think of the Southampton goal that got disallowed?
I can see why it wasn't given. I think it was the problem with it is I first thought it was about the push, and so I had to watch it a couple of times, even before Jenna said it. But even before he said that, I did see the foot on the back of the ankle, and so
it's meh.
It's meh, but those ones hurt. So I mean, I know those ones hurt from experience.
Yeah.
So I can see why he went down, but there's so much that goes on after that.
I mean, we've ignored refereeing, but we'll leave that for when we speak to Brighton about refereeing this weekend. But it does feel like disallowing goals. People are finding ways. VAR seems more keen on finding ways to disallow goals than they are finding ways to give penalties. It's like it's okay that the ref didn't spot that, but it's not. But we're not going to get involved and overrule a decision.
This again is why I think we need a level of transparency on the communication, which we're never going to get, because if you get the conversation between the two officials in your ear, you won't get it in the ground, right? Just accept that. But if you get that conversation on a feed on Match of the Day, you don't even have to show it like live. Show it on Match of the Day and everyone can watch it there. Give BBC all the rights, whatever. And so you get that conversation. I saw this. I think this. This is why I made this decision. And then the VAR, if they're going to say the thing that is like, okay, well, if that's what you've seen, I can't see enough that makes me want to make you change your mind, then you at least get a discourse. We get an understanding of why the decision's made. And then we go, well, we don't like that decision, but I guess we can understand how you've come to it. You're obviously going to get people who just don't care. They'll be like, oh, you're just shit, and that's it. But at least if we get something, you're just treating all football fans like idiots. I think if we don't get that.
Dan Banks has just said in the chat, how are Southampton over the 0.5 line, but only have 0.41 XG?
That is super. Yeah, no idea. I have no idea.
Someone felt sorry for him. It's probably one of those range things or stuff, but it's a fair point.
I don't know whether anyone commented that. I'll have a look at the tweet that the Opta analyst guys sent
that
out.
is as exciting as a conversation we're going to have about Southampton this week.
Yeah,
I sent you some data on JWP. We're not putting it in because it's just not worth talking about.
Yeah.
That's where we're at on
he
this.
could have had a goal. He could have had a goal here. It would have been 0.2 XG or 0.15 XG or whatever. It would have made it look a little bit better. We wouldn't have been able to tell that the XG was wrong, probably, if it was there. But he's getting into those positions still.
He is. Maybe Emmy's back. I don't think that means we can get to Emmy because we've all got keepers and the like and the bit of fun. It's ridiculous saves.
Some ridiculous saves.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I think if you've got a luxury move, you can go there. But I suspect because all the defenders are cheaper than him.
I could go to De Gea to Martinez and then get Bruno in for KDB.
Nah, you're not doing it.
You're right, I'm not.
Not doing it. We're not getting players from these teams. We'll move on. Praz has got Mings though. Well done, mate.
Yeah, well done, Praz. Right, I'm going to spin it because it has to be. It's the only one on there.
Who we got left, mate?
Mitoma. I sent you a voice note. I was quite happy.
Can you replay the voice note?
Can I? Do you want me to do that now?
Just reenact it. We don't have to actually play the things.
Oh no, I actually want to. I actually want to now find it and play it out.
This was pre-kebab. This was
pre-drinks, pre-kebab. This was pretty much exactly was when the goal went in. When was it? 15:27. Yeah, this was it. Let's see how loud this is. This is going to be terrible. It's not even played. That's a disaster.
It's not even played. Give it up, mate. Just shout Matoma down the podcast for everybody that's involved.
Did you hear that?
Nope, absolutely not.
Well, I played it down the mic. So if it came through, it came through. If not, then who cares?
I did not.
This was a fun game.
They're a fun team.
They're a really good team. They're just keeping Leicester pinned back. I mean, who's the? I don't even know who their new defender is. Missed a header at the back post.
Van Hikes or Van Hikes or something.
Heck or something like that.
Van Hex.
Van Heck.
Yeah.
Van Heck. That's it.
Van Heck's got like a YC in a cat. One of those,
I thought it was Adam Webster to start with.
Belgian.
As he came flying through, yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Van Hex. Yeah, big. I did think it was Webster. Big lad.
Yeah, big lad. But like Mitoma terrorised them. I have no idea what's going on in the chat.
What's going on with his hair? I think it was a Grenadier Mitoma, but his hair does look like it's like some kind of like in that picture, like some kind of World War II helmet.
It does look a little bit like
that. The hair's going to get better.
It will. That's I blame AI for that. That's the AI cut because he doesn't have any images on available that you.
Are you saying that's not his real hair? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it is, but the cropping of it might be.
It's a bit of a bounce, so that's what we're going with.
His hair is flicking up.
For anyone on the audio, this is the best analysis of a game anyone's ever heard.
Yeah.
So
Mitoma was great. I think that huge chance is obviously Van Heck's chance at the back post that he missed, put over the bar. Leicester,
how did March miss that chance?
Oh, he went full Mitrovic.
He went full March. What he did was he went full March. He went full Solly March at the last 2 years. He just came back to him.
Yeah, literally did what Mitrovic though, kicked it against his wrong foot. Which would have been another assist for Mitoma, funnily enough.
It would have been.
The header from Ferguson was was superb as well.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, to go away at Leicester, 1.5 XG is decent. Yeah, there were times, I think there were times where Leicester did put a bit of pressure on them, but Leicester just so weak getting a shot away. They're just not creating a chance when they get into a decent position. Just
But
really bad.
Vardy and Barnes now look like the same player, don't they? The way they play, almost type things. It's like these two little like attack fighters that get in that are good. They get there and they get in good positions. They get good shots off, get good chances. They're not the greatest finishers, but they will get them.
Well,
Harvey
we've definitely got to that
Barnes.
point. We've definitely got to that point with Vardy where we've said every year we've gone, well, he's another year older. I think we're at that.
Yeah, it's
We're
done.
there now. We're there now. We've enjoyed and not enjoyed having Vardy in the past.
Yeah.
That's gone now.
Harvey Barnes is an asset, but again, another midfielder, no room at the inn, not happening. Not for now, but he's the main man as it stands right now. Let's see what happens when Maddison comes back. Interesting, Rodgers made quite positive signs about, Maddison came on and talked about it. If that transfer window closes and Maddison's still there, Maddison and Barnes come back on the radar a little bit, I think. I still think they've just got good players. They've got enough good players, I think, that can make a difference in this league, that they'll always get a couple of big chances like they did there.
Fair enough.
They just got them. But Brighton are a really good team. That's a waste.
Well, yeah, now, I mean they've kept Leicester to literally 2 chances. Like that's literally at home.
Now there's obviously no Trossard. Obviously Mitoma's nailed, but the other big part of that is Estupiñán's nailed.
Yes.
And then he becomes the real standout as a defender for them. There is chances that they might have a double.
They're gonna have lots of doubles. They've got more games.
They've got 2 doubles, yeah,
and they're gonna have blanks coming up as well because they're gonna have blanks in 25 and 28, is it not?
Well, I think the 25 one might not end up being a blank. I think someone said that they could move it to the midweek or something like that. So,
but we'll
definitely find out more before the deadline because of
2 League Cup games and an FA Cup game.
2 League Cup games and an FA Cup game, and whether stuff gets put in. So let's see where that goes with that one. But don't go early. But we're going to end up going there at some point. And you're well in Matoma and you just got to leave him there. Do you think you'll probably end up them trying to move Andreas up and keep Matoma potentially?
Oh, almost certainly. Yeah, almost certainly. Especially if we're going 3-5-2. I'm going to have so much. I'm going to have the money to be able to move Andreas up to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone? Yeah. Anyone's about right. I've already got 2.6 in the bank.
Everyone's sitting with. I've got 2 million in the bank. You've got that.
If I go Tony down, I'll have almost 5. In the bank. So I can pretty much go to any. I go to Saka easy.
So many people got so much money. I've been to Pranil Late Rise. He's got like 6 million in the bank or something like that. It's mad how people are set.
Yeah,
but why not?
Yeah, we're there. We're there now. I mean, if anyone has any questions at all, if you want to just chuck them in the chat now. And then we've got some questions from Discord, but I didn't put them on the screen, unfortunately. So it's probably a good time, just while you guys are getting questions in, to remind you that the Above Average FPL channel and podcast is supported by Crypto Block Dan. Dan is an acquisition analyst in the play to earn crypto space. Good friend of ours and supports us fantastically. He's doing great at FPL this year as well so far. First year really sort of taking it seriously. He was very happy to see a Haaland hat-trick today, much to my dismay. But if you have any questions about the blockchain and about crypto, anything like that, then just drop him a follow on Twitter and drop him a question. You can see his DMs are open if you follow him. So, just drop him a follow. And as always, just to plug our Discord as well. So, we've got a small community on Discord where we have chats leading up to the game weeks, just looking at each other's teams, giving each other some tips and ideas and stuff like that. It's good because it's small and it's, you don't get so much noise from elsewhere. So head over to patreon.com/above average FPL if you wish to join us on the Discord. And if you join before the 7th of February, then your first month is refunded. And then just from us, if you have enjoyed or do enjoy watching our videos and you want to do something nice for us, just smash the like button. Simple as that. 200 and something people in here today, 55 likes. That should be a lot higher. It's a free thing to do. You just click the button. It helps us massively, like you wouldn't believe. And it would be much appreciated if you did that. And I think I've now exhausted all of that to go through questions. So Steve in Discord asks, is it now essential to have double Newcastle defence? I think so.
It's a killer if you don't right now.
Because as you say, even like Ben White today, he's gone off injured, terrorised. I don't know what it was. Well, not so much terrorised. United did nothing, but
I think there's an option there, isn't there? Where you could go. I mean, White was just bad. He was just in a bad way. He was completely done by Rashford. He was bamboozled. Sean Rashford was just too much for him. And he's the one that people are target. Tomiyasu. I think if you want to take the punt and get on the free attackers, and that goes on to other questions. We had a chat in the question. Would you, from Hop Sausage, saying, would you get rid of White for triple Arsenal attack? And we've got Hobo in our Discord say, is it worth holding on to White or any Arsenal defender? If you've got the ability to do it or you're an aggressive player, I've got no issue with people moving forward with Arsenal. We just saw the value in them and just going, Botman and, look at you. You've gone from 1.4 million to 400. Botman, Trippier, Shaw every week. Bang, bang, bang. Kepa, thanks very much. You're just getting so much value.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
And I do still think Stones is a worthwhile play. If you're not going to get to triple City, I think Stones is a great player at like 5.4. Because I reckon if he doesn't play, he don't come on. I think you can just leave him rest of the season, and I think you'll do pretty damn well out of it.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't you much rather have, say, a Kepa and Stones than go the Edison and anyone, in defence? Like, definitely, for me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cool. Tuamas asks, what do you think about City options besides Haaland? So, are we literally looking at, because a lot of people are going to be moving, as you say, Kev down to Bruno this week. Do you think people are looking to
anyone does it? Yes, 100% hokey-cokey, 100%.
Hokey-cokey?
Just so you know, Review is suggesting it too.
Oh, really?
Review is suggesting hokey-cokey for everybody. So, yeah, I think a lot of people will flip-flop. But Kev, Mahrez, Haaland, Stones, they're the 4 assets.
Okay. Kev asked, not specifically an FPL question, cover it anyway, but how much better would it be if they moved the FA Cup to midweek fixtures, finish the League Cup the Wednesday before Christmas, and have the FA Cup as a midweek domestic cup after Christmas? These FA Cup weekends are only a bare notch above international breaks.
Well, Moyes listens to us, but I don't think the FA does, so we'd love it.
And I don't think that's happening. I just don't think that's
never happening.
Cool.
No, and it's the old romance in it for the smaller teams, that big weekend game. That's what you want.
Yeah, you're not going to get Barrow Town send 3,000 people to the other side of the country on a Wednesday night.
Yeah,
it's just not happening.
Yeah.
Cool. So there are some questions in the chat. So
I think we've got questions about free hit in 25 and triple captain 22, 23. We will do that before the deadline. We'll do more videos before the deadline, and we'll cover all of that, and even when is the wild card time and do all that stuff. I think we're still in that position. I think.
Yeah, fair enough. So okay, so what are we booking ourselves in like almost not a chip strategy type thing?
We better do something, mate. We got 12 days to a deadline.
This is true. I have my time around March for this game week, good or bad. Yeah, I think that's fine. Should Greenwood owners spread the cash on Eddie? Nketiah?
Maybe. That is my one thing about the 3-5-2. That game week 25. And Leeds might still get a blank in 25. My understanding is. So people could go to Nonto early or Greenwood and then not have enough players for 25. So that's, again, it's a wait. If you're going to change strategy, or if you're already on a 3-5-2, I think you should really look to hold right to the deadline.
Yeah. Cool. Shall we leave it there then? I know. I
Let's
see.
leave it there, mate.
Last one says brought in Nonto thoughts. I mean, good.
Yeah.
Good player. And very last question: are you glad Spurs haven't been able to annoy you before the podcast this week? Absolutely. Like, it's a massive relief.
Much.
Massive relief.
Massive relief. Well, we'll see. I'm sure we'll catch up tomorrow night, mate.
You've got Kane, you have Doc, and you have Mitrovic. I am just sitting on Kane. We are sitting on green arrows at the moment. You can see our ranks on screen. You're on 204k. I'm on 433k as it stands. So, yeah, hopefully that improves tomorrow. Kane scores a hat-trick and we get whatever points we get from it.
Yeah.
And
the dream for me is a Mitro blank, and for you, Mitro blank, Doherty, Hall, Kane, Hall. Thanks very much. We're all good.
Cool. Well, yeah, as you say, we're going to do some more content over the break. Well, it's like whatever break it is, the 12 days. We might try and get a couple of guests on. We haven't spoken to anyone yet, but if some of the people that are normally listening, we might be asking you. So keep your eye out for your DMs, and we'll talk chip strategy maybe. And yeah, we'll leave it from there. We saw our fancy new intro. Here's the outro. Speak to you later.
See ya.